Hello everyone. Welcome to part 3 of Equity Investing's YouTube series on basics of options. We'll start with the standard disclaimer that this is for educational purposes only and no trades or advice is being solicited here. So, in the previous video, we learned about call options with a basic example. In this video, we will learn more practical nature of call options. We'll learn what are strike prices, lot sizes, different expiry scenarios for call options, and payoff charts, how to understand payoff charts, and nomenclature of options. So, let's begin. First, we will tackle what we learned previously. There are two sides to a trade. There is a buyer and a seller, and a premium is exchanged between the two. The outcome of the option is determined by the underlying asset, the price of the underlying asset, and the expiry date of the option. The spot price is the current price of the asset, and each option has a strike price beyond which it is enforced, right? So we will now firstly touch upon this concept of intrinsic value of call options at expiry. So intrinsic value is nothing but the value of the option on the date of the expiry, right? So we do know that a call option has value above its strike price. If the price of the asset at the date of expiry is above the strike price, the call option has value. And how do you define that value? It is nothing but spot at expiry or the price of the underlying asset at the date of expiry minus the strike price. The difference is the value of the option, right? So we say that the option has intrinsic value on expiry. We are only talking about expiry scenarios. So we say that option has intrinsic value at expiry if the spot at expiry is greater than the strike price. If, however, the price of the underlying asset is lesser than the strike price, the option expires at zero value. It has no intrinsic value, right? So essentially, if a call option expires below the strike price, the seller of the option gets to keep all of the premium and the buyer forfeits all of it, right? So now we will move on to understand strike prices, right? So in the previous example that we discussed, we studied that strike price for an example of 55 lakh rupees for a particular house in Bangalore, right? However, in the context of this series, we will be majorly tackling stock options, majorly traded in the Indian stock exchanges, right? So that includes options for individual stocks which are FNO enabled. FNO enabled means futures and options enabled, like for example Reliance, Tata Motors, ONGC, SBI. The big companies are typically having FNO and they are listed on the exchange. NSE is the exchange which facilitates these trades. So NSE is responsible to find a seller for every buyer and a buyer for every seller. So like in the previous example, we oversimplified it, right? In this case, we don't know whom we are buying the option from or selling the option to. Okay, so the exchange facilitates that trade, and the trade happens via the means of a broker. A broker could be someone like Zerodha or ICICI Direct or HDFC Securities, Upstocks, and the likes, right? So we will now look at the strike prices. So strike price is the price above which, like we saw, option call option has intrinsic value, right? So exchange predefines what strike prices are tradable. Okay, so for different assets, strike prices are different and they are inherently depending on the spot price. Okay, the current price of the asset, right? So let us take a look. Instead of looking at this chart, let us simply see how to understand and evaluate strike prices. There is something called as an option chain, right? So here you can go to Google and you can Google NSE option chain, not NSE option calculator, NSE option chain. Click this link and the option chain opens up. Default Nifty option chain opens up. So like I said, index options are also traded in India. So Nifty, Bank Nifty are very largely traded, lots of volume, right? So let me just zoom in for your clarity's sake, right? Here we see. So here you can see strike price. On the left is call options and on the right is put options. Now we are talking only about call options, so don't worry about put options. We will come to put options. So here you can see for Nifty, right? 15,700 is the price at which Nifty kind of closed today, right? And here on the left you can see all the call options prices. LTP is the last traded price for that particular strike. So here you can observe that at 50-point increments there is a strike available for the Nifty. For example, you can buy a 15,700 option, 15,650, 15,600 or 15,750. There is no option for 15,725, right? So these are the increments set by the exchange. Hope that is clear. So let us look at what the same thing is for something like, say, Bank Nifty. Okay, Nifty trades at 15,700. Bank Nifty is about 34,700 odd, if I'm not wrong. Let us see, 34,700, right? So here you can see Bank Nifty option chain, right? Just scroll up. Here you go. As you can see, Bank Nifty has 100-point increments for the call options. And here on the left, you can see the last traded price of the option. Okay. So each option has a traded price. Okay. We will come to what a traded price is, how much you have to pay for this option, right? So this gives you a fair idea about options. Don't be daunted by the option chain chart. It looks like a complicated Excel sheet, but it really is not, right? It's only giving you a lot of data. You only have to take selective data from it, right? Here you also have the option for choosing an expiry date. As you can see here, it is mentioned 1st July 2021. That is today, the date I'm recording this on. If you click on this, different expiries are available which you can choose from, and for each expiry there is a different option chain, right? So I can choose July month end. So as you can see, for Bank Nifty, every week there is an expiry available, right? And in the case of Indian options on the NSE, Thursday is the expiry date for the weekly option as well as the monthly option, right? So keeping that in mind, let's just choose 29th July, and you see the numbers changed. And I'll just quickly scroll down and you can see, let's, for example, 35,000 call option for expiry of 29 July is trading at 640, right? That's how you read this chart, right? LTP is the last traded price. Let's also take another example of a stock. Let's say Reliance. Okay, here you go, click Reliance, expiry date 29. Now for individual stocks, only monthly expiries are available. You see, August and September, only these are active options for this stock. No weekly expiries on individual options, right? So as you can see, July expiry is 29th. The reason why it is on the 29th is 29th is the last Thursday of the month. If the last Thursday is a holiday, the previous day becomes the expiry. So 28th would have been the expiry, right? Now let us look at the increments. As you can see, strike prices are available at 20 rupees increment for Reliance, right? So there is a rationale of what strike prices are made available, right? So typically 0.75% increments are available, but it's no such standard rule, but that is what they try to maintain so that different people can speculate at different levels. Let's get back to our slides. Right. So hope you guys have understood at least basic levels of strike prices. Don't worry, we will again go back to option chain in the future context of our videos. Now with the strike prices, there is something called as a lot size, right? So essentially when you're buying one option lot, okay, for each traded underlying asset, there is something called as a lot size which is predefined by the exchange, right? So in the case of Nifty, the lot size is 75. It is soon going to become 50, right? So the idea is the lot size into the spot price. Okay, so that is actually the contract value is what it's called in case of a future. Let's not confuse ourselves. I'll keep it simple. Lot size into the spot price should be somewhere between 5 to 8 lakh rupees, right? So that is the kind of contracts that the exchange wants you to undertake. So essentially, if you're taking one lot of Nifty for 50 rupees, okay, you're paying nothing but 50 into 15,700, right? So that is somewhere around 7.5 to 8 lakh rupees, correct? If you're buying one lot for Reliance, the lot size for Reliance is 250. So 250 times 2100, right? So that is somewhere around 5 lakhs. I'm just giving you an odd number figure. So essentially, lot size is different for different underlying assets, and it depends on the price or spot price of that underlying asset. And every quarter, the NSE might choose to increase or decrease the lot size. For example, if the price of an asset falls a lot, for example, ITC has fallen from 300, 350 levels to 200 levels, so NSE has reduced the increased the lot size, because lot size into the price should remain somewhere between that range. Nifty is reducing from 75 to 50 lot size because Nifty has really gone up, right? So that is the entire idea. So you can trade options in lots. Okay, so you can buy one lot or two lots or three lots. Essentially, you can buy one lot means 75 or 50. Let's say only 50 now, because from July end it's going to be 50. So one lot means 50, two lots means 100. So that, so on and so forth. When we will also look at the math. But this is the basic of strike prices and lot sizes.